Okay, so I just finished my square that's next to the number 20. I'm getting ready to turn the corner and go up and keep following up the chart going this direction. Okay, so I want to just look at what I did so far. For this last one, we had to do 1, 2, 3, 4 yellow ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4 yellow ones, 1 red, and then we finished up the yellow. See how we finished them up that section in here in the middle? So there's those 2 yellow ones right there, okay? And since we finished that section up, I'm going to go ahead and cut my yarn. I'm going to leave a good tail to weave it in, but that'll be a less bobbin that I'll have to manage when I flip my work over. Okay, so I did those 2 yellow ones right there, those 2, and then I did 2 red ones, so 1, 2, okay, and then 1 yellow one on the end. Okay, so the next row, if we look at what we're going to be doing, we're going to go up and we're going to do 1 yellow one, and then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 red ones, and when we do that, it's going to go all the way up to where this other one was that we did from the row before. So we're going to use only one color to get all the way across, okay? So if we look at our work, the one that's connected to this top one, see, we're going to use this one and we're going to go all the way up, and so this one at the top we're not going to need right now. So I'm going to cut that one off, leaving a tail to weave in, but see, that's going to help. So that cuts down the amount of bobbins we're going to have to turn. So now we only have, because that's a tail and that's a tail, so we're going to have 3 bobbins here that we're going to have to be turning, okay? Okay, so just continue on, and so we're starting right here, the square that's next to the 21 on the chart, and we're going to go up the row and then back down the row, and then just keep going until you get to the square, you finish the square that's next to the 24, and then I'll meet you back up. So keep on going. Okay, we just finished row, the square that comes out at number 24 on our chart right there. And as you see, we are finished with the letter A, and we ended up having 2 rows of just solid yellow. Okay, so you should have been able to cut off all of the extra, I mean the red where we finished the A, and all of the extra ones, extra bobbins, and now I'm starting with just 1 bobbin, since this we had 2 rows where it went all the way across, back, and then back and forth with 1 color. So pause the video and take the time, if you haven't yet, to weave in those ends, give yourself a tail check, and then we'll keep going. Okay, so I'm hoping that you paused the video and weaved in your end so far. So let's keep going. So now we're going to start the letter F, and as you see, we're now going to start where the number 25 is on the graph on that side, and we're going to be going up this direction, and we're going to be adding in some bobbin, adding back in some bobbins. So let's get started. Okay, so remember, now we are just doing the decrease side on this side, which means we do not chain 6 to make our square before turning. We just chain 1 and then turn our work over, and then slip stitch up this side to get us up into the right position to make our next square. Okay, and let's see, slip stitch into the top of the chain 3. Okay, so now we're right where we need to be. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochets, and that will make the first square on that row. Okay, insert your hook, and then before you slip stitch to connect, make sure you look on your chart and see we do have to make 2 yellow blocks. So we'll go ahead and continue on with the yellow, chain 3 and slip stitch, double crochet 3 times and 3, and now we're going to slip stitch, but on our chart it shows that we did the 2 yellows right here, and then now we need to add in back in a red. So I get one of my red bobbins, and we're going to add it in and just do 1 square of the red. Okay, tighten the yellow up and then chain up 3 and then do our red square. So work over that tail on the back there. 1, 2, and 3. And now we got to go back to the yellow again. We did the 1 square. So we need to add in a yellow and do 2 right there. Take care of those 2. Okay, so we change it when we do our slip stitch. Whoop. Okay, so we tighten up the red, chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, whoop, and 3 double crochets working over that tail. And we continue on because we need to do 2 of the yellows. Lost my hook again. Okay, not hook, but lost the loop. Okay, so slip stitch, and then we need to make another yellow square. Okay, so we just did these 2 yellow ones right there, and see now we're starting that part of the F, so we need to add in another red one. So I'll move those over to that side, get another red, and we're just going to do 1, it says. Slip stitch, tighten up our yellow, and then chain up 3, and then make our red square. Okay, and then we need, and now we need a yellow square, so we need to add in a yellow bobbin. This one I know is, we're going to have 2 or 3 rows here where we're going to have a lot of bobbins again, but then we'll be done with them and we can cut, so we can start cutting them off after that, so it won't be too bad. Okay, tighten with the red, chain 3, we're adding 1 yellow square. Okay, move that to the side, and now it says we need 2. We did this right here, we did this red one, and then we did this 1 yellow one, and now we need, oh no, not 2, we need 1. That's why it's always good to look back at your chart often. So 1 red one and then 2 yellow ones, so we gotta add in a red. And do 1 red square, working over that tail in the back. Okay, last one is another yellow. So that's a lot of bobbins. And like I said, if you don't have the bobbins, you can just use separate little balls of yarn. But the bobbins do, for me, I think they do come in handy. I really, I'm glad that I got them. Okay, and then the top one, because we have to do 2 yellow ones. So here's the last one on this side. Okay, so now let's look at our chart. We did that 1 red one, and then we did 2 yellow ones. And see, we have made it to the corner, the top corner of our piece. So now, from now on, either end, neither one of them will have the chain 6 and then double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook, and then 2 double crochets. We won't be doing that anymore because we have reached the width and we have reached the length of our piece. Okay, so from now on, both ends, you're only going to chain 1, turn your work, slip stitch up that square, sorry, until you start the next, to start the next square. Okay, So we are in the home stretch now because we are now going to be decreasing both sides. So each row will have one less square in it until we get to the end, okay? So let's go ahead and we'll do this next one together. And then I'll let you finish off on your own, I think. Let's see. Okay, so we need to, like I said, we're not going to chain 6 to turn. We're going to chain 1, and then we're going to turn our work and slip stitch down that edge. But then we're going to have to turn it. So let's go ahead and gather, since we have so many of these bobbins, let's go ahead and gather them up and clip them onto our work so we can turn them easier. And it'll be easier to sort the bobbins out. I try to keep them clipped kind of in order of where they're coming out at. See, this next one is this red one. But, you know, you can clip them wherever you want. Even if you need to go down the side to have room to clip them. Let's see, this one. And then this one. Okay, so this one, like I said, we had to chain 1, and then just like I did on some of the turns with the owls, sometimes I like to just turn over this corner right here and go ahead and do my slip stitching down before I turn my entire work. So slip stitch down this side. And remember to get it in the top of the chain 3 space, and then chain up 3, 2, 3, and then now I'm going to go ahead and turn my work. So I'll just hold on to this bobbin that's loose and then turn everything over. And there you go. And then just unclip the ones. Go ahead and unclip them. Okay. Make sure they're in order. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So now we need to find our stair steps. So actually I need to shift it a little bit and find our stair steps. See how the stair steps are going up there? See, that's why I wanted us to weave in all our ends previously before we started this, because look at all these new ends we're going to have to weave in just a little bit. Now I did, as you can see, I did leave my tails a little bit short. I probably should have started off with a longer tail. But since this is a wall hanging, I'm not as concerned about getting the things woven in as much, because it's not going to be used like a blanket where it's going to be moved around a whole lot, and also the back, it's going to be backed with felt, or my piece is, and so even if you have a few of these little tails sticking out, or you didn't get them woven in all the way completely, it won't make that big of a deal, which is good. Okay, so continuing on, we look at our chart here. And we are now we finished up here in the corner, so now we're going to turn the corner and we're going down this direction, this way. So we have 1 yellow and then 2 reds, and then looks like 1 of each. So let's see, let's do our first one. Okay, so now it says 2 reds, so now we pick up our red. Tighten up that yellow. Now we need our second red. Okay, now we drop that red, move it over. Now we got to pick up our yellow. So it's one. We did 1 yellow, 2 reds. You see my chart there? It's curling over. Okay, 2 reds, and then we need 1 yellow, 1 red, 1 yellow. Okay, 1 of each. Okay, so picking up our yellow, do 1, 1, and 1. So here's the first one. Okay, drop that one, and then pick up this red one. Okay, 1, 1, and 1, right? So we need another red one. I mean, another yellow one, sorry. Okay. Now let's look at our chart again. We did a yellow, a red, and a yellow. 1, 1, and 1. Now we're going to do 2 red ones and then 1 yellow one at the end, okay? So move that over. Pick up this yellow one. We need, oh my goodness. Pick up this red one and do 2 of them. There's the first one. Let's do our second one. And then we pick up, oh, now see what I did here? You have to make sure that you don't put your hook in there until you put that yellow to the back. Then put your hook in where it's going to be in front of it. Then you pull it from the back to the front for your slip stitch. Okay, so we got that finished, see? So now we're going to chain 1 and then slip stitch up this edge, turn our work, and go down the other direction. So if we look on our chart, we finished this row right there, see? So now we're going to turn, chain 1, slip stitch up the edge, and now we're going to go up this direction. Now, if we look, it looks like, yeah, see how we finished this row right there. And since we finished this row, this yellow, the one that was in this little corner here, we can cut off because we don't need it anymore. Because see, when we turn it and come up this way, we're going to do this red 1, 2, 3 all the way up, and we're going to bypass that. So we're done with that yellow one right there. So if we look at our work again here, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do a yellow one here, and then we're going to do 3 red ones, which is going to end up connecting this part of the F to this one. So this yellow one right here we're finished with. Okay, so I'm going to get my scissors. It's going to be one less bobbin I have to take care of when I turn when I turn my work. Okay, and also see, when we come up this row, we're going to do this yellow one, these 3 red ones, see? So this red one right here at the bottom, because we're going to go up this way, this red one is going to connect this and that piece together, okay? Because this yellow one is done, so it's going to go all the way across. So actually this red one right here, we're not going to use it because we're just going to continue this one up. So I can go ahead and cut that one off. Get that one out of my way, okay? And see, these we still need, because this yellow one, which is right here on our chart, when we come up here, we're going to do that yellow one right there. But see, we still need another yellow one before we can cut that one off. So I need to keep that one on there. Okay. And then this red, of course, is going to be continuing on for a while. So there. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had 7 on there for one row, but now we're able to get rid of 2 of them, and so now we only have 5. So not quite as bad. And then of course this one, we're going to be cutting this one off in just another, well, when we make our way back. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let you continue there. Just keep following the chart, going up and down and up and down. And when you get to, let's see, when you finish row let's see, yeah, when you finish row 30 right here, I mean not row 30, but when you come out and you do this square that's next to the 30, then I will meet you up there, okay? Okay, so I just finished this square right here where it came out next to the number 30. So I'm ready now to turn my corner and come up this direction. Since I finished all this yellow that's in here and that red piece here, I am now only down to 3 bobbins, so that's good. And as you can see, this next row, it's going to go up and you're going to have 1 yellow, 2 reds, 1 yellow, and then 1 yellow, 1 red, 1 yellow. So you're going to go up and then go back down, and then you'll be able to cut your red, and you'll end up actually cutting your red in one of your yellows, because then you'll be going across and finishing up the corner with just 1 bobbin remaining. Okay, so continue on. We're almost to the end, and don't forget to weave in your tails. I've got quite a few right here, just this side and the back side. There's quite a few just from this area that we just did right there. So continue on, weave in your tails, and I will meet you up at the end. We'll wrap this up. Okay, so we're all finished with the project. I got to the end of my chart. I didn't even mark it off, but anyway, I did get to the end of my chart. And I weaved in all my ends. So here's my banner. Okay, both sides. Okay, so, and don't worry if it is not particularly straight, because once during the assembly, when I put the pieces together, I will wash this, not really wash it, but I damp it, and then I block it out to get the edges as straight as I can, and then I will put felt on the back of it, and I'll show you the finished product in the assembly video. But anyway, that's our project, and thank you so much for following along, and I hope you enjoyed this project, and I hope that it helped you to have more confidence in doing corner-to-corner projects in the future. And like I said, I just hope you really enjoyed it. I had a fun time designing the pattern. So we'll see you in the next video when we put it all together. Bye.